The Patriots are on fire, the Jets are coming off a spark, and you know we're bringing the splits. It's the kind of matchup where momentum, mindset, and matchups collide, and you'll want every angle. So, if you're ready to lean in, hit that subscribe, turn on notifications, and let's dive into the full breakdown. What's good, everybody? Welcome back to the Split Labs channel, where we cut through the noise, dig into the data, and illuminate the best bets from our public splits across the NFL, NBA, MLB, and more. And right now, we've got a Cyber Month special going, up to 50% off our annual or monthly subscription tiers. Whether you're looking for props, totals, spreads, or public splits, this is the time to lock in smarter. Head over to splitlabs.net and grab that discount while it lasts to get everything you're seeing on your screen right now and more for all sports. Now, let's get to the meat of it. The matchup, the context, the splits. Everything you need to know, plus what our data is telling us. The Patriots come into Week 11 sitting at 8-2, riding a 7-game win streak and sitting comfortably on top of the AFC East. Under new head coach Mike Vrabel, they've built a very clear identity: defense, control, and efficiency. Vrabel even said this week, this will be a challenge when talking about the Jets, which is the kind of respect you give a team that's scrappy even when they're struggling. Now, New England does have a long injury list. 15 players showed up on this week's report, but the core pieces are all expected to go. And let's be real, this has been a one-sided rivalry for a long time. The Patriots have beaten the Jets in 15 of their last 16 meetings in Foxborough. It's one of those matchups where history just keeps repeating itself. Now on the other side, the Jets are sitting at 2-7, and it's been rough. They've shown flashes though. They've actually covered in 5 of their last 7 games, which is better than most people realize. Garrett Wilson, their top receiver, was limited in practice this week with a knee issue, and rookie pass rusher Will McDonald is working his way back, which should help their defense a little. But overall, this is a team trying to find consistency and rhythm in a season that hasn't offered much of either. Now let's talk about what really matters, the Split Labs data. The moneyline splits tell the story right away. The Patriots have a 78% win probability, while the Jets sit at just 22%. On the spread, New England is a massive favorite at minus 13.5, and the public is hammering them. 78% of bets and 81% of the money are backing the Patriots to cover. Only 22% of bets are on the Jets, which tells you the public isn't expecting this one to be close. But here's where it gets interesting. The total. The line's sitting around 43.5, and 71% of bets, along with 72% of the money, are all on the under. That tells us people are expecting a lower scoring, defensive heavy game, which honestly fits the script. New England's defense is elite right now, and the Jets' offense just doesn't have the firepower to keep pace for 4 quarters. So when you combine all that together, heavy Patriots moneyline action, public leaning under, and almost no faith in the Jets, the data starts to paint a pretty clear picture. All right, timeout. Let me put you on game real quick. Split Labs just launched NFL Playbook, and if you're betting props this season, this is your cheat code. It takes everything you're seeing right now, the public splits, the sharp money, and dials it up to 100. You can search any player, filter by position or market, and instantly see how they've stacked up against their opponent. Passing yards, rush attempts, touchdowns, you name it, and even factors in weather and field conditions, so you're not betting blind on a windy 20-mile-per-hour Monday night game. It's literally your full game plan in one place. Every matchup, every edge, all in seconds. Hit the link in the description, use code YouTube for 50% off your first month, and stop guessing, start betting smart this NFL season. All right, let's get back to the breakdown and cash these plays.
But here's where it gets messy. Because I'm a Jets fan, which basically means I lose sleep, money, and years off my life every football season. And look, when the data starts yelling Patriots by 2 touchdowns, I start convincing myself, well, maybe it's a trap line. Maybe Belichick ghosts them from the shadows. Maybe this is the week. I start sounding like a conspiracy theorist with a parlay habit. But honestly, this line's just gross. 13.5? No thanks. A negative 900 money line? Yeah, nobody's laying 9 to win 1 unless they've got a trust fund and a problem. So I'm staying out of the side completely. I can't fade my own team, but I'm not about to torch my bankroll pretending we're going to Foxborough and winning either. So here's where I'm at. I'm passing on the game, but I'll be diving into the props inside the Split Labs playbook, because that's where the fun stuff lives. Player yards, attempts, sacks, turnovers, the nerdy numbers that actually cash. I'll drop the raw data, and you can do with it what you will. If you're brave enough to bet this game, throw your picks in the comments. I want to see who's crazy enough to take the points, or bold enough to lay them. Meanwhile, I'll be over here pretending not to refresh the score every 5 minutes. So yeah, Patriots data says blowout, my heart says this is the week, and my wallet says sit this one out. Let's head over to the playbook, where I know we'll find some spots better than what this game is giving us right now. Okay, we've covered the game overall, the splits, the spread, and the big picture. Now let's dive into one of the props I'm eyeballing in the playbook section. If you're following along with our splits and player prop breakdowns at Split Labs, this is where the real value lives. So let's talk about Drake Maye's passing yards prop. The number we're looking at? 241.5 yards, over/under, for Maye this week. Here's how I'm thinking about it. First, Maye is on fire this season. He's thrown for 2,555 yards so far, good for among the top in the league. He's got 19 passing touchdowns and only 5 interceptions so far. So baseline, the guy's doing work. Now for the matchup. He's facing the New York Jets defense, specifically their pass defense. The Jets give up about 190.8 passing yards per game, which actually ranks them 8th best in the NFL versus the pass. On its face, that means, hey, maybe a tougher day through the air for Maye than you'd expect. Also worth noting, the Jets' own offense is fairly limited through the air. They average about 143.8 passing yards per game, dead last in the league. What that tells me? The Jets probably won't be forcing Maye into a shootout in the same way some defenses might. Possibly controlling flow, possibly leading Maye to rack up drives. We've got a model edge of negative 20.3 yards versus the prop line. So that's a red flag if you're thinking over. The model is telling us the number might be too high. Add in field conditions. This was recorded not on game day, so don't mind that and check the site or weather before kickoff, but it's in Foxborough at Gillette Stadium, and today's weather should give us a little hint into what to expect. We've got moderate risk with wind, 24 miles per hour west, and temps around 25 degrees Fahrenheit. Short and sweet, doesn't scream bomb the ball all day long environment. All of that tends to suppress passing volume or at least deep shots. So, putting it all together, my lean here is under 241.5 passing yards for Maye. The number is a bit inflated relative to his projection, and given the defense he faces plus weather. If I were to craft this as a line I'd script, I'm looking for Maye under 241.5. If you're watching and you like the over, fine, that's on you. Use the data, pick your side. Drop in the comments Maye under if you agree, or Maye over if you're feeling bold. Let's take a moment to talk about Justin Fields and how he showed up against the Cleveland Browns, because the numbers here are weird, and they matter for this short week scenario. Fields completed just 6 of 11 passes for 54 yards, with 1 touchdown and an interception. To put that in perspective, 42 of those 54 yards came on a screen pass to Breece Hall that turned into a 42-yard score. So that means, outside that one play, pretty minimal production through the air. Now, you might say, okay, that's bad, but what I'm paying attention to is the context. It was a home game, against the Browns, with pressure all day, and now they roll into this matchup on a short week. A week where prep time is tight, recovery is tighter, and mistakes are more likely. That does not usually help a struggling quarterback trying to build rhythm. So why mention this here? Because when you're looking at prop lines, game flow, and player usage, this kind of outing throws up caution flags. Fields' props for this upcoming game aren't posted yet, we're waiting, and that absence is meaningful. It gives you a sense that odds makers might be trying to figure out what version of Fields shows up. The scrambler, the check down guy, the fragile link, whatever it is, it's blurry. If I were rounding this out, Fields needs to bounce back and fast to even think about hitting passing yards props. Until we see the line, until we see his practice week, I'll be watching but not betting in heavily. So yeah, we'll see what Fields' numbers look like when they finally post, but after that Browns game, let's just say the sportsbooks probably need a minute to figure out what planet his passing line belongs on. For now, the Jets offense feels like a roulette spin. Maybe it's a Breece Hall screen game, maybe it's a sack fest. Maybe Fields runs for his life and somehow cashes a rushing prop by accident. Either way, it's a short week, and I'm not forcing anything until those props drop. In the meantime, the data's right here. You've seen the splits, the projections, the weather, and the matchup edges. Do with it what you will. I'm personally skipping the sides, leaning under on Drake Maye's passing yards, and waiting for Fields' props to show up before I do anything crazy. If you want to see all the updated prop lines the second they go live, plus every playbook model, matchup grade, and edge score, just head over to splitlabs.net. It's Cyber Month, everything's up to 50% off, and this is hands down the best time to join the lab. Appreciate you watching, drop your picks down in the comments, tell me if you're brave enough to ride with the Jets this week, and as always, winners only.